What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast.
Let's go.
Live from the unnamed studio, but not much longer. We're excited to be here, guys. We're presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Choose your offer, find out why, whatever the moment. Never ordinary at Bet365. You know what's not ordinary? Your Denver Nuggets. They just keep winning. Just keep winning. This is our third winning streak of the year. This one up to 6 games. This is the year of streaking, man. It feels great. We got great topics. MVP straw poll. We all like talking about the straw poll. New straw poll just dropped. We're also going to think about, I feel like at this point of the season, a lot of our opinions on the players are fixed. But I think there's a few players we might not have a fixed opinion just yet. So I want to talk about that. And then later on the show, the G League is a big deal to your Denver Nuggets for good reasons. So we're going to talk about that, including a little Duran Holmes update. I got some intel there. Brendan Vogt's in the building.
Very excited to be here today because the Denver Nuggets have the best offense of all time. And it's awesome to talk about them and watch them. How about that?
They could not score the next game, and I think they'd still have the best offense of all time. That's how much they're up. 3 points per 100 possessions.
Last night, first quarter, it's like, they don't have the juice tonight. And then they had 70 at the half. You just can't. You just can't.
That offense in the second quarter. Over here, Harrison Wind.
And I mean, somehow guys keep getting injured and the offense keeps getting better.
I know.
I don't know how they're doing it.
It is
I kind of do.
Yeah, I think I know, actually. I have a they're doing
how they're doing it.
That's true. I have 2 guesses, and they're both right. The Nuggets are doing, it's like a game of Jenga. You're like, if I remove one more, what happens? Still standing. Your turn. Nuggets keep getting it done. Kale, I'm a little hungover today. Let's go to the hangover takes. I'm hungover. I had no alcohol. I just had a long night.
Some people just can't handle Vegas, man.
I can't handle Vegas. It's so true. But you were at the arena. We got a abridged version of your thoughts, but I want to get your full thoughts now, Vogt, from last night's game.
Can I give you a really quick sideline note?
Oh, please.
Christian Brown has actually been an unbelievable teammate while injured. Like during timeouts and stuff, he's like, before the crunch time against Houston, he went out there and like patted every guy on the back and like hyped them up in their ear before the final 5 minutes. He's just like really locked in. He's really enjoying all of his teammates' success. No, it's a small note, but it's just stood out to me at every game.
It's not a small note, actually. I don't think it's a small note. I actually think it's a meaningful thing because CB is reliable, man. You know, he takes his job seriously. When he's on the court, he plays like a guy that takes it seriously. The Nuggets as a team, unfortunately, one thing that's true about them this year, one bad thing, is that when the Bulls come to town, they're like, I think CB's the one guy that is not like that. He understands that his job includes patting guys on the back. You know, so it's like, no, I'm on the clock. I clocked in. I gotta take the trash out.
Exactly.
Well, he's also just a team guy too. He loves being a part of a team. You know, he's kind of got an old school thinking, I think, in that sense.
Maybe Midwestern thinking.
Yeah, maybe no coast bias thinking.
Right. That's right.
But I mean, you know, he's just like one of the guys. You know, even when he is playing, it's not like he's ever complaining about his role or shots or minutes or anything. So it would be surprising, like, honestly, if he wasn't, you know, right in the mix of things, even with him injured.
Do you think he's ever lifted a bale of hay?
No.
You don't think he ever has?
No.
Do you think there's a chance that he's ever? You don't think he ever has? Just like at a fall festival or something.
I get why you're asking. Of course.
Have you ever lifted a bale of hay?
No, brother.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that. You're from Jersey.
Yeah,
he definitely hasn't spent any of his extension money though. He's worn a white T-shirt every game, I think.
I mean, that guy.
He doesn't have it yet, right? Yeah,
he doesn't quite have it. I'll bet you he has lifted a bale of hay.
All right.
In a non-ironic capacity. Like, like there was a time where he was at his grandpa's and they were like, "Yeah, we got to move the hay."
This is the ultimate test to see if like Christian Brown watches the show. Because the next presser, he'll be like, yes, I have.
Do you think everybody from Kansas has lifted a bale of hay?
Not everybody, but I think CB has.
Okay.
If you're from Kansas and you have not lifted a bale of hay, sound off in the chat.
I bet CB's mom sent him to like a farm camp, when he was younger. Like all the brothers are like, "You guys are going to learn." Mike had to do the lemonade stand or whatever, I bet she was like, "You know what? I think you guys can learn how to milk the cows and bales of hay over your head."
Yeah.
All right. What else besides that?
Besides that, Cameron Johnson's rebounding was just awesome in that game. And I thought that was a really good game. I'm sure you guys talked about it. I'm sure it was a really good example of, I think, just kind of the different things that he brings to the team. And, he's had some really high plus minuses, and sometimes he plays with the bench. And I really don't think they're coincidences anymore. I think Cam is a guy who is actually figuring it out. And, he may miss the first wide open three of a game. I realized watching that game last night, I'm kind of back to, if it's a big momentum three.
Are you?
I am. I think Cam,
that last one, man, was such an important one. And
he hit a couple of them.
I think he did in the, correct me if I'm wrong, the last Houston game as well. I felt like he hit a couple of big ones in the fourth.
clutch.
So I just kind of think I'm back to trusting Cam wide open threes in pivot moments.
My opinion on Cam Johnson is that we came into the year thinking he might average 19 a game, 18 a game. And I think that it's like he is KCP. He's going to average 12, 13 points a game. Yeah. And he'll have nights where he scores 20. He might even have a 30-point night somewhere. But his role is just different. And even from MPJ, his role is different. And when you readjust it to that, you're like, oh, yeah, he's doing the thing they need at the frequency they need it.
100%. And other things as well. I mean, like 11 rebounds is no joke. And we talked about that as something that Mike did well, that maybe Cam doesn't bring as much. In this game, he found the court is distracting. I'm taking it down.
What are you doing? You can't let the chat bully you. Bro, this is your desk.
No. They're right.
All right. I think they're wrong. You can't listen to the chat,
That jacket, too. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's just keep going. And what's with this hat?
Can you shave the mustache? Yeah. So I just think Cam is playing well. Also, Jonas Valanciunas, David Adelman once said everything he says or does is funny, and it just is so true. I can't explain it, but just
who?
Jonas Valanciunas. All of his mannerisms. You know what I mean? He's just one of the funniest guys physically. He's like a physical comedy machine. I can't stop laughing.
My favorite one, I don't know if he did this last time. My favorite one is when he hits a bucket and he's running back and he like whips himself on the butt.
Yes. Yep.
Like he's a horse.
Just lumbering.
It's freaking
around.
awesome.
It's awesome. And then every now and then he like goes to catch the ball and gets fouled and he just gets so mad. Like clubs a guy. I don't know. I'm really enjoying watching him.
I do love watching Big Val against thinner, younger guys.
Oh, it's like he likes being a bully, man.
Yeah. Great.
He really has a little bully energy to him. I will say he does. He also has the thing where he always has a look on his face like he's thinking about something funny. You know, like he kind of always has like a.
Yeah. I think he knows now that everyone thinks he's funny. Also, he's the nicest guy. And it's just so funny because, I mean, for obvious reasons. Lastly, Tim Hardaway Jr. is electric. He's an electric watch. Yep. You're like, wow, this guy could pull up at any time, and I'm pretty confident it's going to go in. So
you're loving the bench, fellas.
I really am. I really am.
I want to talk about Jamal Murray. Well, do you have any other hangover takes real quick before we?
No, go for it.
Or nothing? Not a single hangover take from yesterday's game?
I mean, I probably have one I could go to. We talked about it a lot on the show last night, but Jalen Pickett being as good as he was feels significant. He, to me, clearly is a better weapon than Zeke Naji.
Yes.
I think he's more of a reliable and more effective player to put into a game than Julian Strawther.
I agree with that one, too.
Especially with Julian just coming back from injury. Obviously better than Hunter Tyson. And so you just look at the rotation and you're like, he probably deserves to be in the mix more. And if you're looking for an extra guy, even when everybody is healthier, the Nuggets are healthier, it's got to be him.
Maybe we'll do an exercise here in this first segment if we get to it. But I mean, I think that's the way I look at it. I don't think he's better than the core guys that are in the rotation.
Sure.
And you can make an argument that like he was better than Bruce Brown last night. And sometimes there's a role here. The thing about Brucey B is we just know what he does in the foxhole. And I think that's so much more valuable than all this other stuff. But at the same time, I think Pickett is a guy that if you told me he was going to play somewhat consistently from now to the playoffs, I'd be like, yeah, that's a valuable thing that's going to probably help you, a lot. So he's definitely, to me, is well ahead of Zeke, well ahead of Julian. The thing is, I do think there's nights that either of those guys should play over him, just depending on the role. Mm-hmm. But all things being equal, the neutral, Pickett doesn't make mistakes, man, and he has a high floor.
I got a lot of texts, when Chris Paul got waived. Oh, the Nuggets, they need a backup point guard. They need somebody to run the second unit. They should get Chris Paul, veteran, experienced. I'm like, I think they have Chris Paul on the bench right now. It's Jalen Pickett. I think Jalen Pickett.
We have Chris Paul at home
right now is better than Chris Paul right now.
Chris Paul's not that great,
I know.
Is the big thing, yeah.
For sure. And it's not like Jalen Pickett is amazing either. Yeah. But Jalen Pickett, I think, gives you exactly what I think a lot of people believe Chris Paul would give you. Pickett, I do think, would be more reliable and can run this offense maybe better.
To me, it's not even about running the offense, because I think he does a good job of that, and I think with more minutes, he would actually do it. He's a really good intangibles guy. Mm-hmm. Like last night, he had 3 rebounds. He affected a ton of rebounds. Adelman actually cited this after the game in his post-game presser. He affected a lot, and one in particular that he affected, and it was only a minor impact, but he went for an offensive board that he had almost no chance of getting, and just through contesting it, he made the ball get tipped, and then I think it was Big Val that grabbed the rebound. And it's just little plays like that. He boxes his guy out defensively every single time. 100% of the time he gets his box out. And then on offense, he knows when it's like, I probably can't grab this, but what if I just make him have to give a second effort?
What if I could just get a fingertip on this?
Yeah, and he just makes all of those plays. So for me, it's like high floor guy, and I just like, obviously I like watching him play.
I think in the regular season, there's I think decreasing doubt for me that he can do this to some level. In the playoffs, if he were taller, this wouldn't be a huge conversation.
Well, he looked shook in the playoffs too, though, is the thing. They actually tried to play him out there, and it looked like you could just tell. And Julian didn't, and that matters to me because I like Pickett more just as a rotation guy, but Jules did show up.
But you also like Pickett because he's composed and does all these right things the right way. So if he's not doing that, so no, for sure, and I think if you are considering the question that there's not enough ball handling on this team, is there another ball handler out there that we can get? No. Start with the question, is he on the roster already? And then you can spend the deadline maybe trying to get another lengthier defender if that's your prerogative.
Well, here's where I want to wrap up this first segment with hangover takes, and that is, if we rewind the clock to last year, Jamal Murray, 19 points a game in October, 18 points a game in November, 22 in December, 21 in January. All of a sudden, 25 in February, and that's 11 games. It's not like a short month or nothing. I mean, it's a little short month, but it's not like it's a nothing sample size. 23 in March. He ramped up and clearly started to play very well. Let's go to the year before that on his split, shall we? We're getting 12.5 points a game in November, 21.5 then after that, and then in January rolls around, we get 23.5 from him afterwards. You get 23 and 24 in March and April, but clearly it picked up. Championship season's a little bit of a different story because he was coming off the injury, so the numbers you expect to be small, but 25 points per game in February once again. Let's just go to the 2021. I mean, it's well publicized, this idea that he starts slow, so I'm not trying to hammer on the start slow part, but the year before, the year he gets injured, 18 a game in December, 19 in January, 26 in February. 26. He started to take off. My point is, Jamal this year is kind of following the same track. It's just that he's starting from such a higher floor. And that's part of what's so exciting about it. He's averaging 28 points a game so far in December. 52-point game or 53-point game. What was it? 52?
52.
52-point game will drag your averages up a little bit.
Sure.
But he's having so many good games right now that I go, his December, January bump that he gets every year, sometimes going into February and then whatever, that bump might be 28 points a game now. Instead of bumping to 25, he might be like, he's just on a heater right now where I kind of expect him to score efficiently anytime he's needed to.
The only thing we might not have this year is the all-star snub rise of February.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's kind of ironic. Hey, by the way, 69% true shooting. And it is the month of December. That's insane.
It's ridiculous. And we talked about Cam kind of starting to buy the bigger shots, or I am. At this point right now, if Jamal puts up a momentum swing three, I am 95%
the transition
sure it's going in. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, he's just so locked in right now, and it's always cool when people other than us put it on record. Like, the staff and Bruce Brown saying like, look, he's in better shape. And you just see how it pays off because he might have spurts, he might have flurries, but then these certain defensive coverages could wear him out over time.
Right.
This guy's not getting worn out, man. He's just there right now when they need him. And it's, if he's going to get better again, that's why even as the schedule gets harder, as they play more good teams, I still think they could turn into a real buzzsaw by January or February. If they aren't one already, to be honest.
Yeah.
They might be already. And
they could be.
That's what's
they
exciting
probably
about
are.
it. They probably are. But they do have a big test tomorrow. Let's take our first break. On the other side, I want to start to get into the MVP straw poll because why not?
Yes.
There's actually something interesting to discuss about it. It's different this year. Or is it the same?
We are in the gift card range of the holiday gift season. It's a little late. You want to be thoughtful. You want to get them something that they want. Maybe you don't know what that is entirely, so you get them a gift card. Skip the gift cards this year. Go with Aura Frames. It's a great way to give a personalized gift. You can basically upload free photos and videos and preload them before you give them to that important person in your life. So it's a mom, a grandmother, a friend, a loved one. Just being able to relive all those moments that you spent together, which really is the spirit of the holidays anyway. Although that said, we do expect gifts, don't we? So make sure you go with Aura Frames. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com and get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames. Those Carver Mat frames were named #1 by Wirecutter. And you can use promo code DNVR at checkout. That's auraframes.com and promo code DNVR. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. We had the privilege of doing a live show from Dick's Sporting Goods recently, and this is looking like a great partnership. It's a lot of fun. While I was there, I saw our gear there all over the place, which is honestly really cool. We started in a small office in Lakewood. Now Eric's work is in Dick's Sporting Goods, your local Dick's Sporting Goods, along with top brands like Nike, Adidas Originals, Hoka, and more. But yes, DNVR is there. You can go get yours at your local Dick's Sporting Goods. But don't forget, it's also the 12 days of Giftmas. There's a $50 gift card giveaway to both Dick's Sporting Goods and the ALLCITY merch store right now. We pick a new winner each day. The link is in the show notes for details, or you can go to thednvr.com/giftsmas.
Man, great read, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
was
I'm a
good.
little winded from it, but
back here, segment 2. Everybody hit the like button right now. Do it. It's for good luck for the Denver Nuggets. That's what they say. Before we move on, last night was bobblehead night at One Ball Arena. You were able to sneak in early. Is that what happened?
I actually heard a lot of people didn't get them.
Dude, have you never opened a box
this
before?
is why I wanted you to do it, bro.
Bro, he just like ripped the box. You just open it.
All right, I got it.
Not going to resell that anymore. Damn
Yeah,
it.
the resale value is terrible. We got this AG one, man. This is one of the coolest ideas. I want to see how it turned out.
Yeah.
The dunk from last night. Also, AG just lends himself to a bobblehead.
Yep.
Some guy-
it comes with a hoop?
Is he supposed to? Does he?
Wait, so you have to assemble it. It's
think
not
we have to
assembled.
assemble it.
All right, let's see if you can get this.
You guys
Assembly
can't see
required.
this, I just realized.
Kale.
There it is.
There it
Assembled.
is. Look at that. I think he was more on the side.
Yeah.
It was this side.
No,
too.
no, it was
other
the other
side.
It was
side.
this
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
there
you guys
we
got
go.
it. You guys got it.
Look at that.
So are his fingers
No.
touching the ball?
They are not, which
Okay.
is anatomically correct.
Red light is on.
Got it
Hand
out.
is off the ball.
The red light is on. Dude, what a great detail. The red
Yeah.
light is on.
Very cool.
This
Very
is a
well
dope
done.
bobblehead, man.
It is
It
really
feels
good.
so fragile. We break so many bobbleheads here. We have the whole bobblehead wall.
Yeah.
We break so many.
It's good stuff from the Nuggets organization. Actually, there's they're little mini moments you got to celebrate and remember. And the people love Aaron Gordon.
the people do love Aaron
People
Gordon.
do love Aaron
man.
Gordon. Bruce Brown was right, by the way. I do think Aaron Gordon actually consistently gets the loudest cheers and intros.
wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, you know what's funny? If you go back and look at Aaron Gordon before he started growing his hair out, it just kind of looks like a normal NBA player.
Yeah. I mean, now he's full Colorado.
He's just full of himself. Like he is such a character, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Like he was the same guy 5 years ago without the hair.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
But
a
now
good
we're
point.
like, he's mysterious. He's
Well,
kind
now he's like cosplaying as a Harley Davidson
Really?
rider.
Oh,
Did you see him last
yeah,
night?
with the
Freaking
bandanas.
bandana.
I love
It's
it though,
an
man.
incredible look.
By the way, last night he just walked to the bench a few minutes into the game and standing ovation.
Yeah.
I'll bet his life is cool, man.
It's
I'll bet
probably
that's
sweet.
pretty
It's
dope.
probably pretty sweet.
Tim Bontemps had his MVP straw poll. I always vote in this
Am
one.
I on it this year?
I'll let you know. I voted Jokic number 1. I was one of 42 people that awarded him the number 1 spot. But
Okay.
turns out I was in the minority. Kale, do you have the votes here? The straw poll had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 57 first place votes, Nikola Jokic at 42, Jokic at 57 second place votes, Shai only at 41 second place votes because he got a third and a fourth, which I'll be honest, I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is
also crazy. Jokic got 1 fourth place vote.
But who both?
We need our guy Tim Bontemps to release the voting record here.
You're right. We'd have to bully somebody. Well, I'll tell you, there's also 1 first place vote for 1 Luka Doncic, and I would almost bet you those are correlated.
But yeah, I mean, putting both Jokic and SGA at 4th is actually remarkable.
Yeah.
Whether it's the same person or not, that's insane.
The straw poll I've talked a lot about, man. I don't think this is anyone's fault. It's a cool thing. We get into it.
I actually don't mind it at all.
Well, here's the only thing about it, and again, nobody's fault. I do think it makes everybody race to the middle. And even in this one, look at all the names we have listed here. Jalen Johnson got on the list, which I like. You know, I just want there to be like people can say, well, you know what? I have my own parameters for this because there aren't actually any parameters. And I think there's something cool about that. But over time, everybody just makes the same parameters. And it's like, well, is it advanced stats? Is it scoring? Is it all around play? Is it team records? Like those are the 4 things and nothing else matters. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like first and foremost that this many people are on the list this early, even if there's still a lot of homogeneity.
For sure.
Top
I think, by the end of this thing, it will shrink to a pretty clear, concise list of 4 guys or so.
This is the topic I'm on, though. Are you sure?
I mean, that's how it usually goes. So it's not like there's going to be a 3-way split or a 4-way split. I feel like it's usually just between 2 guys. But I like Cade Cunningham being on there. What was he, 4th?
Yeah.
Pistons are the number 1 team in the East. They've had an incredible year. They have like the same record as the Nuggets right now.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserves to be in the running right now.
I agree. I mean, in the conversation.
I mean, 3rd, but
4th, I think. 4th behind Luka.
right. I'm saying like best case, he's 3rd right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Top 3 is finalist. Is conversation 5?
Conversation might be 3.
I think conversation goes like 7, 8 deep.
Really?
Yeah, because when we talk about it, because we're always talking about these guys as if they're not going to win it. They're just in the conversation. Like who's
That's right. That's why I feel like 5th is. Like I always think of the year Kevin Love finished like 5th or 4th, and you're like, yeah, that's the cutoff.
I think who's in the conversation for MVP right now? Shai, Jokic, Luka, Cade, Brunson. Giannis is like up against the games limit, and he's kind of quit on his team, so I don't know if we can put him in there. Wemby. I mean, Wemby's in the conversation.
He's not going to play enough
Not going
games.
to play enough games.
But if he played the rest of the year, you'd say, you know what? He's in the conversation.
Sure.
That might be where the conversation ends.
Yeah.
So that was like 6 guys. You know, I think
I'm going to stand on 5. I like it.
Right,
I like
5 guys are
it. Just
in
like
the
how it
con-
sounds.
What is the 6th guy?
right this year? Or the 6th guy is
Just like he's not been bad. Not bad.
well, I think on the basketball reference tracker, it's Isaiah Hartenstein.
The tracker is broken, unfortunatally. No, but here's my take. I actually wonder if this is the year where this is already more scattered than most first straw polls. And I actually wonder, by the way, the actual date of the straw poll matters so much. Because I feel like the Nuggets, this was done on Monday, and it was supposed to be like before any other games. It's like, what's your list? Since then, Denver's only gone out and beaten Houston and Orlando's on a 6-game win streak, creating the separation. I wonder if Jokic would have gotten a few more votes, since then. But right now, there's already more variety early on. And I look at it this way. Shai's argument is not different from last year. It's just not. They won 68 games. If they win 73, 74, it's not really different in your mind other than it's historic. Jokic's averaging a triple-double like last year. The team record thing was the big sticking point last year, but it looks like their record will be very good this year, if not, obviously not where theirs is.
But closer.
Luka Doncic is putting up crazy numbers right now. Cade Cunningham has the record thing. I just think that And then voter fatigue. So you look at it and say, all of these things, you can't have both voter fatigue and use the exact same parameters year over year. But unfortunately, you have to. And that's why I think this year will actually have way more noise in the data.
I also think most of all, the MVP, I do think, goes to the guy who sometimes, a lot of times, usually is just the story of the season.
Yeah.
If you can really boil it down to one thing, you have all the arguments, like you just said, all those things that voters think about and go into their decision. But like, who was the story of the season? That's usually who gets MVP, I feel like.
Who's the story of the season right now?
It's probably SGA.
Do you agree?
And again, that is not necessarily the deciding factor, but I think it is a factor, and usually that's who it winds up being.
And the SGA argument right now is doing it back to back, and then them maybe looking better. Just what he's cooking, right, and the team success as well. You're starting to go like, okay, this has gone from a crazy peak to where does this guy go in the pantheon, right? Whereas I think Jokic, just past Kareem, also noteworthy, is he's in those conversations already. So in that sense, I think it's like SGA's ascension into those top echelon conversations. But this question just makes me go back to my original thought, which is there are conversations now on December 19. This is going to be about two guys. I think.
I do think the actual battle will be whittled down. If I were to ask you though, of these top 5 guys, pull it up again, Kale. Shea, Jokic, Luka, Cade, Jalen Brunson. Because those 5, I think, are the top 5. And then after that, it's like Wemby, Giannis, Tyrese Maxey. But those 5 guys, who's most likely to fall? Just to fall off?
Out of the top 5?
Yeah. I think there's one clear and obvious one.
I have Jalen Brunson falling out.
You think the Knicks are going to fall off from being... I think they're going to be the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference.
I would say Luka just because I don't believe in the Lakers.
I think that's the one. And I'm unfortunately just too rattled by the Lakers to ever to go this. But there is something too. They might not be as good as they appear. And they might fall to a 4 or 5 seed or even a 6 seed. Minnesota's starting to play well. And if that's the case, as great as Luka's numbers are, they're just not really better than Jokic and Shea's.
Yeah.
They're in the same category, scoring a little bit more, shooting way less efficient. So I look at it and go, I think Luka is the guy that actually is 3rd right now, but will likely just not have an argument. He unfortunately splits the difference between Jokic's better argument for team record and all-around play and Shea's team record and scoring. And he's like in between those, but won't have either unlock.
Cade's the other one that could fall. I just would trust the Knicks to take the East instead of the Pistons.
That's a sound argument.
Yeah.
Sometimes to me, this question is just say it and how does it sound out loud? Is Jalen Brunson the MVP? No.
I know, but he's in the conversation.
I can't deny it.
You can't deny that he's in the
NBA
conversation.
Cup
by my own
championship, winning the East.
I mean, and he did hit that game-winning 3 last night in a huge hangover game, honestly. He's been awesome. So I get your argument. Team success matters.
Will Jokic try to sabotage his MVP case at some point this year?
Well, let me see when they play the Thunder.
Well, it's all at the end of the year, the very, very end. It'll probably be, maybe that'll be the deciding factor, honestly. Is the race really going to be that different like in March than it is now?
Probably not.
And so will everyone just be like, well, let's see these games and see what happens?
Yeah, like those 3 games to decide the MVP.
Completely.
Whoever wins 2 of them.
Well, it's 4 games, unfortunately. 4 games in like 6 weeks.
They split.
I think it'll just come down to that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jokic had 1 game on there. Like, there's 3 games not on national television and 1 that is. And he's just total goose egg on that game.
Well, it's the same type of thing with the Rockets, this little 2-game set against the Rockets. The first one was on national TV. Everybody watched it. Nuggets won. Okay. Yeah. Nobody's going to watch this one tomorrow. So who really cares?
Well, hold on. Is Dorian Finney-Smith back?
I don't know.
Really?
Tari Eason?
Is Tari Eason back?
I'm not sure.
Because, that could be the thing. By the way, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but after the game yesterday, Ime Udoka kind of jawing back and forth with the players, losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder, there's a little bit of, some weird stuff. I just kind of wonder with Houston, man. Denver has a chance tomorrow. I want to say the game, they already beat them once. They beat them twice this year. Doesn't matter. Denver has the chance to, throw a knockout punch. Not that it ends their year,
sure,
but you can just send them to a bad place.
Here's the thing with the Rockets. Yes. Who's the leader on that team? It's Ime Udoka. And the thing that I think we know is it's not the best when your leader in the locker room is your coach.
Interesting. They give him 3 losses. Like, if
But
the
for
Nuggets,
real, like Steven Adams, who's the heartbeat of that team?
I think you would say Kevin Durant, and
but it's
then
not,
to
yeah.
your point,
Şengün, like
yeah.
you're
No, I mean,
right.
it's a good point, man. It is a good point.
Do you think, though, if we flipped roles and said Denver was 0-3 against Houston, and because of that, they are now 3 games in the loss column behind Denver, we'd be like, damn it.
It would be the thing that, literally with all due respect, the chat would keep coming back to over and over and over again.
They're Minnesota.
Yeah, and this is their trying to kind of break through that ceiling, right, and become contenders. And if you're looking at this Denver data and then probably whatever the OKC data is, you're going, are we sure we're contenders? And you put that anxiety, you sow that doubt into their minds. And also, Houston's been good in the clutch. Denver hasn't, and yet Denver has 2 clutch wins over Houston. So this is just maybe something that starts to get really frustrating.
Tomorrow's win, I mean, one, it's 7 wins in a row, which would be another big deal.
Yep.
By the way, I was looking at that. I don't want us to get too far ahead.
Don't do it.
The Nuggets have 6 in a row. They play 3 games, and then their 4th game. Do you know what it would be?
No.
It's the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'm
On Christmas.
I think it's happening.
No.
Sorry for saying
It would be unbelievable if you could get a chance to set a record on Christmas.
I think it's happening.
I would love for that to happen, man.
I think we know exactly what's going to happen now.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't mention anything. I just said that they have 4 more games, and the 4th one is Christmas. Kel, you're the one that's bringing things up. We got to take a break. On the other side, this will be a good exercise now. It's a question of which players on the roster is your perspective fixed on, and which one do you think is subject to change rest of the year? We'll talk about that.
You've heard us talk about Gold Crown Foundation, mostly for their competitive basketball leagues, all the sports programs that they offer. But did you know that they're also a nonprofit? In December, you can give back, you can donate, and help them continue to invest in their programs and invest in the community. They serve 18,000 kids annually at Gold Crown. And thanks to donations, 100 more teams can participate due to the addition of a bronze division. They've seen an 84% increase in girls flag football, and these career pathway programs that they put on, where 68% are college or career bound after completion, they cost them about $15,000 annually per participant. So your help is essential here. You can help Gold Crown invest in the Gold Crown Field House to keep it as safe and an inspiring place for kids as possible, where they can learn, grow, and play. They have upgraded security features, bathrooms, drinking fountains, furniture, backboard padding, score table chairs, and they'd like to keep going. So you can donate on Colorado Gives Day, Colorado's largest day of giving, or donate all month long. Scan the QR code on screen or visit the link in our description for more information. Our friends at Red Hawk Roofing. What a beautiful sound. You know what's beautiful is the way that these guys invest in the Colorado community and the exquisite work they do in the roofing business. There's no project too small for our guys at Red Hawk. They're your go-to for everything from minor repairs to full roof replacement on your home or business. Long-lasting relationships matter to them. Trust matters to them. So they're there to do the job right, so that if you need, goodness forbid, more work done, you know who to call. If you need to give a recommendation in this industry, you know who to recommend. They have quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time. They are Colorado's best estimators and contractors. They're huge DNVR supporters, plus free no obligation roof and property inspections and free in-depth photo reports for all inspections. Can't always see how bad the damage to your roof is from the ground. Send our friends from Red Hawk Roofing up there for you. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com or call 720-771-8921. Tell them DNVR sent you. Not watching a lot of third grade basketball.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Third segment here. Throw us a like. Make sure you're subscribed. All kinds of good stuff. By the way, maybe a little surprise episode dropping your way. We're not sure yet, but maybe a surprise episode over the weekend. Is that a good enough tease? Is that a soft tease? Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, big question here. Some players who I don't think our opinion is really going to change rest of year. Nikola Jokic.
Pretty cemented.
Pretty locked into what I think Jokic's going to provide.
Agreed.
I'm going to go with Jamal Murray, and this one's a little bit weird, but I actually feel this is how you know Jamal's actually doing it. I've been tough on Jamal. I always thought he's a great player. I never question his upside, but I question all the other things. This is how good of a job he's done to this point that I actually think consistency is going to be a thing this year. I think, barring injury, knock on wood, Jamal Murray might have better months and worse months or whatever, But I just don't think he's going to have a bad month. I think this is the Jamal we got this year. And so I think for him, I don't think I'm going to be surprised.
I'm there right now. I'm there.
And I think that when I'm saying that is a legitimate, great number 2 option that can win you games by himself, but also play. And one of the things I was so proud, we were saying this on the watch along, Jamal last night, I thought had a great mix of aggressiveness individually and getting the ball to Jokic, or to wherever it needed to go. And that's the ultimate last act for him, because I thought early in the year there were some games where I felt like he was trying to get himself going. The last couple of big games, I felt like he had the right balance. He was scoring, but it wasn't going out of his way to score. He just was scoring.
Yeah, the consistency is the biggest thing. That's what we wanted to see the most. And he just doesn't have as many bad games.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen that often. I mean, the last one I can remember is probably the Dallas game. That was, 7 games ago or so? Everybody played bad in that game, but he just has cut out a lot of those games. And that's what you have to do to go from the player he was to the bona fide second option all-star status.
Yeah, I think that's right. What about after that? Who's the next guy that you think is more or less a lock to just be what you think he is for the rest of the year?
To stay what he is right now.
Just that you don't feel like you. If I told you at the end of the year that your opinion on that player's value will change, you would be like, "What? I'm shocked."
Tim Hardaway for me.
This is what's funny is you already went away from the starters, and I agree.
Yeah,
and I agree because I think there is a little wiggle room for them. But Tim Hardaway to me was probably my next choice.
Yeah, this is kind of a little of what I expected. I thought he'd be more up and down than he's been, and I'm sure those moments are coming. Right. You know, a shooter can't stay hot forever. Maybe you can in Denver. I don't know.
And he's had a couple cold games. So
for sure.
We've seen
for sure.
A little bit.
But it hasn't been like a week of bad shooting or anything.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And a lot of times shooters are prone to that, knock on wood. I think he's going to be this guy the whole year. Like, this is who he is.
Yeah. Do you think Tim Hardaway Jr. fixed opinion, or you think there's still...
I would say regular season, yes.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's a fair one.
And not even to knock him, just that one I'm going to kind of wait and see. But regular season, I just think he's playing in confidence and rhythm and flow in a way that isn't like what's going to compromise it, if these injuries haven't already. The other guy was going
Hold on real quick on Tim Hardaway. Yeah. In October, 11.2 points per game. November, 12.1. December, 13.0. True, mostly that's just more minutes. True shooting, 63.5, 62.5, 62.5. Very consistent.
Very consistent.
On like a month-by-month basis.
100%.
Right.
The other guy I was going to go to actually was Jonas Valanciunas, who, and it's not because I think it's like necessarily sky high. I just, did Jonas get you 8 points and 4 rebounds in 14 minutes? I don't think that guy's going to fall off a cliff at any point in the year. In fact, I think if they can figure things out with Jalen Pickett in the rotation, it's more likely that Jonas Valanciunas continues to contribute.
I agree. I think the biggest concern with him that he was going to wear down, but he's playing by far the fewest minutes of his career.
Right.
By far.
Oh, he's not going to wear down. There's no way he wear down at this workload.
Yep.
Here's where I don't have him on my list. I think we're going to get more Yoke Val minutes when everybody's healthy. And that would change the perspective of him. Because right now it's like he spells Yoke, and that's great. We also haven't seen Yoke rest a whole lot. And I think in the back half of the season we will, not a lot, but there will be games where it's like, man, we really need this one. There's no Yoke. Can Val do it? And that would change our perspective as well. But the big one to me is right now, Jokic Val is not a weapon. It's an idea.
Exactly.
But I think it could become a weapon, and that would change my perspective.
100%. I'm with you.
Go even higher.
Right. It's like yeah, you're right. I don't think we're going to lower our perspective on him, but I do think there might be some more value there that's like going to be mined once everyone's healthy. Then you get into the questionable ones. So even Aaron Gordon, I think, was the one that when I was thinking about that, originally I was like, Aaron Gordon, you know what you get? And then I was like, wait a second. I actually don't know. Are we going to get him healthy? At this moment, I don't know if I'd be more surprised if he comes back and is just healthy from here on out, or more surprised if he was in and out.
I mean, the last now 2 regular seasons have been really rough just with his health and availability.
Season and a quarter or season and a third.
Yeah. Season and a third. So it's definitely a question. If he's healthy, I have a pretty good idea of who he's going to be. I think that part is pretty cemented. I think his shot's going to be there. I think he's going to be a beast inside, solid defensively. I think we have a good idea. It's just the availability aspect.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I agree with that. And then meaningfully different, making his 3-point shot. Right now, we kind of count on it. Could that go away? I guess a little bit, but I'm just counting on it.
I'm counting on it.
He was coming in. It was even better than last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron was
higher volume, higher percentage.
He was having a career best start, and it was kind of quiet because Jamal and Jokic, he had 50 in the opener.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
Maybe though, with the emergence of Spencer and P-Watt, when he comes back, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing if AG was a 28-minute per game player.
Right.
And there's actual real chance that can be the case, that when he comes back, we're just not seeing these 37, 39 minutes in a game because it's not needed and it's not worth the risk. Christian Brown is another guy that I think we would have painted onto this. And yet he had a little bit of a weird year. And the contract thing is over his head. I still think that I would bet very heavily on him coming back and being the exact guy we all know him to be. But I guess there is a little bit of variance that, you know what? My perspective could change a little bit on him.
Well, now you just wonder, okay, is the shot not going to take another step forward? Like,
I'm counting on that it's not, though.
Yeah, it's probably going to be about what it was last year. And how that translates to the playoffs, we'll see. Is the defense going to level up? I just think with the injury, those things seem less likely.
Right.
But him being the same player he was last season seems likely.
It's weird because he has to dig himself out of, just in terms of this conversation, this context, dig himself out of an early hole, right? And then he's coming back from an injury. So there is some doubt, but no one would be surprised if Christian came back and figured out how to make an impact alongside Jokic again, right?
Yeah.
No one.
We keep it moving. Cam Johnson, I think we're still trying to... I am pretty happy with Cam Johnson and what he's doing. Like I said, I've adjusted. I did think he was going to score more points. I'm not surprised with the way it's evolved. Part of me goes I was wrong in my thinking more so than anything. Now that I see it, he is just more of a KCP analog. And, I still think he does everything right. Adelman has been so defensive of him in his pressers, but in a passive-aggressive way. And last night he referenced I see the conversation, blah, blah, blah. I think he's pretty good. The pods have been tough. He says the pods. Can you imagine? That would be so great.
It's part of the coach job, right? You got to take things that at the time were perfectly reasonable questions and just have your guys back.
But you know what? I don't think that's what it is.
No?
I mean, maybe you do, and it's fine if you do, but I kind of feel like that is his way of being you guys don't know ball. He's been great all year. That not in a mean way, but I kind of feel his thing about I know people are worried because he missed shots or something, but have you not seen what he's doing? It's great. Our offense is awesome. And
I don't know ball because I'm upset at somebody missing a shot.
I think that's how he kind of views it of the shots go in, shots don't.
The thing that's funny is I thought everyone actually tried to wait as long as they could.
For sure.
Cam.
We've actually been very charitable with
listen,
Cam.
he's all going to come around. He's going to come around. But eventually you have to ask. And I also think a coach has to just use a moment to be I got my guys back.
Yeah.
I do think our opinion could be different on Cam at the end of the season, though.
In what direction?
I think there's a lot of room for him to improve and take on a bigger role.
Yeah.
Because I still think he's come a long way from where he was at the very start of the year, but he is still in the feeling out process a little bit. Now, that might just not end.
Yeah.
He might not get to a point where he's just fully comfortable and fully ingrained in the Nuggets offense, but I think he can get to another level.
Well, I think so. I think there's definitely something to go up. And you talk about the bench. That's the big one. They're starting to have this Cam Johnson with the bench thing is getting some traction. When everyone gets healthy, is that a real good punch, now that you have everybody at your disposal? I'm kind of curious. When we go to the bench now, it gets tough. First of all, Peyton Watson. Don't think we're locked in yet.
No, I don't think so either.
I do think that we all are. The upside is a lot higher, and I think the floor is a lot higher, and he's an every night rotation guy. There's no question. But I do see a world where, maybe his role diminishes, changes, and it's back to just kind of inconsistent. And I think there's a world where he goes to the bench, but still plays a ton of minutes. And we're talking about, we should close games with him instead. And for that reason, I think that there's still our perspective will change on him. If he's part of the best closing five, I think it's on the table.
His confidence will be higher, right? Even if he is playing with the second unit again, there's just no doubt his confidence will be higher after this stint.
But does he get more shots if he's with a fully healthy second unit?
More shots?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know that he's...
I don't think so, no.
So I don't know that his confidence can stay high.
Will stay high, right, fair enough, right? I was also going to say that, his numbers will drop when he goes to the bench. They just will. So, this has kind of been the most fascinating part of Peyton Watson's year is just... where does Peyton Watson fit into Denver? And then this question of how much opportunity has he gotten alongside Jokic? And he is two different players, right? On the other side of this opportunity. But he's going to have to then snap back to a smaller role, presumably when CB comes back. That's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do for veterans. And so it will be a test for Watson.
And it's just tough, man. So I look at him as a player that it could be rough.
Agreed.
You all right, Kel? Are you writing me? Bruce Brown is another guy I hate to say, but I think, yes, I think that our perspective on him could be a little bit in flux. He had a rough one last night. He does a lot of good things.
Really?
What?
I feel like my perspective's going to be pretty locked in on him.
Tell me why.
I just think, he'll have his highs and his lows, but I think what you're going to get from him in a big game and in a kind of a big moment in the foxhole.
I believe him to be a tough-minded guy, so I agree with you about the foxhole part of this, but his role is lesser than the championship year.
Yep.
And sometimes lesser than means you're more replaceable in anything. Like right now, is it possible Bruce doesn't play in a series? Because that was unthinkable in 2023.
Absolutely, for sure. Is it possible? It'd be really surprising if they go into the playoffs with the team they have right now. It'd be pretty surprising. I probably don't see that happening.
I don't think he would fall entirely out.
I think he's playing. Definitely.
No, I'm with Harrison on that.
Nuggets have a lot of guys.
I mean,
Guards though?
They have options. They have options they can go to.
Okay, so one theoretical scenario, let's say they pick up a defender at the deadline. You have Watson kind of back with the bench, and you're really liking what Jalen Pickett brings to the table. In the right or wrong matchup, then maybe Bruce doesn't have to play. I am buying the idea that while Bruce's numbers are definitely going to be lower, and I think athleticism is clearly taking a step back. He's going to get better, I think, throughout the year. And
I actually believe that part.
And if you're in a first round series, I'm fairly certain Bruce Brown will be helpful.
Yeah. Unless they bring in somebody else and make a big move, which I don't anticipate happening.
Yeah. My point is more this. If I were betting, I think Bruce is an every night guy, even in a playoff series. I'm just saying that I think it's within the realm of possibility, because if you're telling me guys that are locks right now, I think Tim Hardaway for sure, Big Val for sure, and probably Peyton Watson for sure. I think Bruce might be the fourth of those guys, just in terms of there are matchups where I'm not sure it's going to be the best, use of his skill or set or whatever. And that's not even a bad thing. I mean, again, I think it's a mostly positive thing. Then you get to these other guys. Jalen Pickett, I think it's an easy answer, yes. There's a chance he is just what he has been, which he gives you minutes every now and then he's out of the rotation, doesn't play again. You don't really ever trust him. But there's also a world where he plays well over this next 2-week stretch before the guys come back, and you have to reevaluate whether or not he's a guy that you want to continue to play with.
Oh, I think that's probably likely to happen. I mean, it's tough to envision the Nuggets totally dropping him from the rotation after a game like this. I mean, this was a monster game.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did in his minutes, the eye test, the stats, it was pretty eye-opening, I think, that you just look at the guys available right now and you're like, this guy has to play. So I think he's definitely going to get a lot more minutes, a lot more opportunities, a lot more chances to close games if that's how the game flow is going and that's what the game calls for. And yeah, I mean, a couple months from now, at the end of the season, we could look up and say, all right, this is the guy we really trust.
The Nuggets are in the opposite zone that they were in last year, and that there's probably too many guys. You know what I mean? That's the thing about Pickett is I'm like, yeah, he probably can't. Wait, hold on. When everybody's healthy, he's the 11th guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We have to take a break. On the other side, we'll wrap up this segment, and then we'll talk about the NBA G League, because it's a big weekend for the G League, and the Nuggets want you to know about it.
Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And, we had some dreams here at DNVR. We wanted to build something that would matter to the community. We wanted to help change the game here in sports media and really just make it cool to live in Denver, Colorado, as opposed to any other city, right? We want you to be here. We want you to be proud to be here. And we are proud to be partners with Shopify. In fact, they power our merch store. So consider this a testimonial. If you're thinking about starting your own business, if you want to see your own dream come to life, consider Shopify. They've got you covered with the website creation, product descriptions, email and social media marketing, and more. They also have AI tools designed to help you maximize sales. If you are ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. And shout out Game Time. You can take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app right now, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Your first purchase might just be going to see the Denver Nuggets in Ball Arena on Christmas Day. What a treat it is that Nikola Jokic leading one of the best teams in basketball basically means we get to see the Nuggets play on Christmas every year, or more or less every year. And you can be in the building thanks to Game Time, the smartest and most efficient ticketing app. It gives you the advantage, you the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's really easy to use. You get a little preview of what your seat looks like, your view of the court. Plus, it all comes with the Game Time guarantee, meaning if you bought a ticket from Game Time, you can trust that it's going to get you in the building. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Of learned doctors.
All right, wrapping up this segment real quick. Julian Strawther. I feel like he's clearly in this. Our opinion could change because he has barely played this year, and he's a young player who's growing anyway. So absolutely.
more than anyone on the team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a dude.
Yeah, but just seems way less likely than Pickett, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Strawther has a higher ceiling. I have no illusions about Pickett's like ceiling as a player. I just think his floor is really high. Strawther.
I'm just saying in terms of team needs. That's a big thing that goes into this conversation with me. The Nuggets need Pickett's skill set more than Strawther.
You already have Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Nuggets, as we mentioned, #1 offense of all time. It's not like, man, they could use some more shooting out there. They got it down. So
when fully healthy, when guys are injured, it's a different story.
I mean, also Julian Strawther is just a guy. You talk about the year. He could be here. He could be a guy. Could contribute in the playoffs again. Could get traded.
Did win a playoff game.
Well, that's the other piece of this is maybe best case scenario is Strawther returns to the lineup. You go on this road trip. You need him. Maybe you're down a few guys. He has a great run. And then now there it is. Your trade asset has materialized for you to get a defensive player, which is probably what you need if you go somewhere. The last guy is Zeke Naji. That's the one I would say.
The one for
what? I'm just saying, like right now, he's a write-off. I don't expect.
He's the one.
No, well, yeah, it's like Hakeem said, he's the one. I don't know that I don't have any expectations for this. So when I say
I
this,
think that's correct.
Yeah, I'm not. The same with my Bruce take. All this stuff is there's the default what I think will happen, but then there's what's within the realm of possibility. Zeke kind of had his chance here. That's the problem. Is Zeke? This was Zeke's chance. Pickett's like 3 games into his chance. Zeke got like 7-8 games and it just didn't happen. I think he'll get one more probably though, just because I don't know if AG will be an every night guy.
But I mean, even if he had a nice week, I don't think that would actually change anyone's opinion. Zeke has actually had nice weeks.
Last year he had nice 2-week stretch.
Yeah. The question is, can he consistently be an impact player, especially at the salary that he's at? And I just don't think it's extremely unlikely he changes anyone's mind on that front.
Mm-hmm. Well, one other guy that could change our minds is one Duran Holmes, because at the moment he's a mystery box. We haven't seen much of him, but the NBA G League is doing the G League Showcase, which is like the top teams from the G League get together in this single elimination tournament that's played every day over the entire weekend. And the Grand Rapid Gold, don't look now. They are 10-4 or 14-4. I can't remember. I thought it would be up here as I pulled up my screen, but it says 1-0 because this tournament is like the in-season tournament where it's its own record. And they got to win tonight over the Greensboro Swarm. It's a big win against the Swarm.
Are tough, man.
Yeah, the Swarm they got some guys. Let's see, PJ Hall. Liam McNeely, who plays minutes, like real minutes on their team. Terrell Brown Jr. Is there anybody else I recognize over here? Nope, there's not. But today, Duran Holmes got 19 points on 4 of 11 shooting. Could not shoot the ball. 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Here's where I want to go with this. The Nuggets completely overhauled. When they made the switch from Malone and Cal and went to Ben Wallace, who, by the way, Ben Tenzer was running the Grand Rapids Gold not long ago, and maybe there's some use to that. Like, he actually has experience doing this. And they also changed and put Chad Hiskey in charge of the front office, who would make some moves, and moves he made. This summer, they made more trades than any team in G League history.
Wow.
G League trades are so funny. Like, how do you think they really happen? Do you think 2 teams just call up each other and they're like, well, I guess we'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, these guys aren't making that much money. They're kind of bounce around. I think there's a little bit of a culture of like, you have 2 or 3 guys that are your guys, and everybody else you're helping people out. He came over and worked for you.
A lot of agent deals.
Somebody calls you up and you're like, we like him, but sure, Mavs, you can have him. We're not going to do anything with him. But I do look at this and say, I think the Nuggets really are viewing this for the first time, in my opinion, really viewing the G League as we're trying to build a program and we want to be extremely thoughtful in how we do this and everything else. And it's not lost on me that last night to open his presser on what was a very good win, a win streak and all this, David Adelman, before he took any questions, said, hey guys, the G League Showcase is tomorrow. You guys should check it out. Talk about that. Well, here we are, David Adelman.
David Adelman's such a sicko.
Bro, this is actually my number one takeaway from the presser. His thing with Kareem last night, he loves basketball.
Oh, man.
Loves basketball.
Yeah.
And so, and I love it. And then when he talks about all the different games he watches just for, and he's like, I do it for work and then sometimes for pleasure. I just get to watch games. But I do think that the Nuggets are proud of what they're doing at the G League. And I think it ties directly to De'Ron Holmes. I think they went into this year, and I feel confident saying this. They went into the year saying, De'Ron Holmes is going to be with the G League at least till the end of the year. G League showcases at the end of the year. We'll get him there. We want that program to be good. We want him to develop appropriately. And even though they had opportunities to bring him up when they were shorthanded, I think they just have a plan in place that's like, no, we said we were going to have a process and we're going to follow it. And hopefully it pays off with his development.
And De'Ron Holmes the second, let's check in on that development, 20.9 points per game, as Kale just had up on the screen, 50% from the field. He's getting 5.5 threes up per game right now, shooting 38%. That's a pretty good clip from a big man.
That's his offensive skill, man.
That's his offensive
more than
skill.
anything else.
And 3.5 assists as well. So, I mean, look, I think Holmes is a guy who has this skill set. You probably expect him to produce at the G League. You get to the next level, then those questions of what position is he really, how ready is he for the battle in the trenches, those become important. But I like this plan. You build his confidence, you build his conditioning back up, and you continue to build the culture and try to tie these two things together, right? This is a basketball program here and an organization and not just kind of the G League is this thing that kind of floats and exists on its own, and every now and then players go back and forth. Developmental plans, both sides of the organization on the same page about it. That's pretty exciting. And then shout out Ryan Bowen as well for all the success that he's had here in the early going.
He might be the perfect guy to do this because he was such a hustle defensive player. Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody today, and they're like, Ryan Bowen in his career was like an Oklahoma City player. Like, people think of him as a scrub that hustled. They're like, no, he actually just played so hard on defense that he was like, what the Thunder do now, he was doing that back then.
Yeah.
But I think that's a perfect guy for this. But yeah, De'Ron Holmes, I look at this and say, I knew he wasn't going to play for the Nuggets before the beginning of January. But now I wonder if the plan was always just go use that as his ramp up. And now in January, he might get a look.
I think that's absolutely on the right track in what the Nuggets plan was. And you look ahead to the trade deadline, it's hard to imagine the Nuggets making a big move. Just with the team they've got, the salaries they have. Also, trades are just harder to make now. Yeah. Less of them happen, especially at the deadline. And so I wonder if the Nuggets are like, all right, let's have Holmes in the G League through the showcase, through the end of 2025. Bring him up to the team after that, January, get him in the mix a little bit. Maybe he's the trade deadline acquisition.
Could be, man.
I don't think they're expecting that. I don't think they think that's going to happen, but I wonder if that's a thought they had. Maybe it could be him.
Well, I also wonder if he is the trade deadline trade, and I know everybody loves their players. I just remember how Nuggets fans reacted when RJ Hampton was traded. Yes, you got Aaron Gordon. I think people were on board with that. But there was this thing of like, yeah, but I wanted to see what he became. More often than not, they become RJ Hampton. And De'Ron Holmes is still a 26th pick or 24th pick, whatever it was.
Do you know where RJ Hampton's playing right now?
Where is he?
China.
In China?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wow. I mean,
I'm glad they have Aaron Gordon.
They're limited, right? And how many picks they have to use from firsts to seconds, and like in terms of middling deals, and like with all due respect, like people probably aren't interested in Zeke Naji, right? So like, there's just not a lot of. Can you sell this guy as a redraft opportunity? And if that gives you an opportunity to be even better this year and get a chance to go get one, that's the right thinking, right? So that's no disrespect to De'Ron, who we haven't even seen get going yet. It's just how this may shake out. Or alternatively, he proves his value in Denver and sticks around and bolsters that front court depth.
So G League Showcase this weekend, big weekend for De'Ron Holmes. It'd be cool to see him have a big game.
And the G League
there.
Showcase is also an event where every front office is there.
Yep.
It's pretty much like a mini summer league type thing where everybody's talking, everybody's going out, getting drinks. This is where the trade season starts at the G League Showcase.
And the games matter just a little bit more. Even though it all comes out in the wash, GMs will see guys up close and personal. And if he has a game that pops, it's like, well, you know what? I kind of liked what I saw from him when I was out there. We didn't do Rapid Man, by the way, Spencer Jones. And the chat has let me know that. What's funny about this is that when we were talking about where our opinion changed, I actually think he might be in the category of no, my opinion won't change on him. But in a good way. I actually just think he's a good player and his game doesn't have enough variables to it. He'll be in the corner. He'll have games he makes it, misses, probably comes out around 38% overall, and he's going to play defense where he fouls too much but does a good job otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that. I think he is pretty much set in stone. He's a guy who I think right now is being overutilized and overshown just because they have to. They don't have that many guys, and he can handle it.
Yeah.
I think ideally he's in a way lesser role off the bench, like 10 minutes a game, and I think he'll be more effective in those minutes just on a per possession basis than he is over the course of a game if he's playing 40.
So I think he's locked in a weird way, but in a good way. And by the way, I'm almost certain he will get the 15th spot. I think that's like a lock to happen unless something crazy happens whereby the Nuggets make some kind of trade that changes the plan. But at this moment, I just think he'll be the 15th guy.
He's going to run out of games by February.
Which is around the time you have to make that decision. Yep. So, all right, Super Chat scale.
Mr. Exquisite Nugget, Jokic getting second chip plus finals MVP. Bruce Brown called it.
Did he?
Did he? At BC Nick 22, we heart Jokic. We do too.
We feel the same way, man. It's crazy. We feel the same way.
Pretty sweet watching him play.
Guys, Nuggets play tomorrow. Rockets game should be a huge one. We'll have the pregame show, watch along, and postgame show. Other than that, though, hope you enjoy your weekend. Hit that like button on the way out.